Hello, 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 hello. All right, y'all, what's going on? Aaron Moss. I'm not on camera yet because I forgot to grab the questions. What's up, y'all? Back with another video. We're doing Ask Me Anything today. On Instagram a couple days ago, I posted on my story, like, if y'all want to ask me questions for this new video, let me know. We got a lot of requests low key. This is like probably low key the most requests I've ever gotten Instagram story ever. So we're just gonna hop right into it. From Anthony Salmon. Shout out Anthony. Favorite childhood memory. Something I remember from my childhood um, would be like going to the zoo, my local zoo. Every time I went to that zoo, I would just get like this feeling. And it's different going to a zoo when you're a kid because you don't really realize like how kind of weird zoos are. You know what I mean? We're probably going to the zoo with my brother and my aunt. My aunt would always take us. Shout out my aunt. Shout out my brother. Next question's from Caleb. What's the most important thing you want to do in your lifetime? Um, Probably be a good family man. I feel like, you know, I feel like most men should want to be a good father to their children or to just be a father in general. Like, I feel like that's what it's all about. Like, life is about having kids and stuff just because we came from that. We came from people wanting kids, you know? Um, or, well, at least we came from people who have kids. So I feel like that is probably one of the most important things in life. And like if I'm able to do that and if I'm able to be good at it, then that's probably the most important to me. Yeah. This next question is from Trinity, my girlfriend. I love you so much. It says, do you start with a clear vision or let the artwork grow as you go? So this definitely depends on what I'm working on. If it's something like an Instagram post, my kind of most recent one about concerts, that was very fixed. I knew exactly what I wanted and I knew exactly what I wanted everything to look like. And of course, limitations kind of held me back, but from besides that, I got everything I wanted to do for it done, you know what I mean? For things that, like, I don't really have a clear vision on, obviously those things grow. So what I mean by that is like if I hit someone up and I'm like, yo, let's do this. They're like, all right, but we should do this instead. And then we meet up and we hang out and we're like, yo, this is fire, this is this, whatever. Like it's just if I have a I know it sounds stupid, but like if I have a clear vision about what I want, then I get it. If I just want to hang out and let the ideas flow through, um, that's how it's gonna kind of go. So it's like I'd probably know from the jump what kind of session it's gonna be, depending on whether I know how fluid I want everything to go. So this next question is also from Trinity. How do you deal with creatives block and deadlines? So I'll answer the first part first. Creatives block. Um, well, I mean, speaking for everybody here, I get held back by creatives block a lot. There'll be times where I won't be doing nothing for Aaron Moss, and I feel like the need for a sense of purpose. You know what I mean? I'll be like, damn, I need to be doing something. I feel like a bum. And like with that, it will come with like me getting inspired by a lot. And I think I posted this on my story. I don't remember, but I remember I was really uninspired and I literally looked at my own page for inspiration. And I literally got inspiration. I was like, dang, I need to get back into this. I'd be like, dang, like I need to step my game back up. And with the deadlines is like, um, I kind of hate deadlines because they really make everything feel hurried and like not to its true potential. I do feel like they are important. Like at the same time, I just feel like they do make everything hurried. But for deadlines, I just really follow them. You know, my opinion on them doesn't really. take away from the fact what I actually do about them. You know what I mean? Like I don't really like deadlines, but I still follow them. You know what I mean? So yeah. Alright, so this next one is also from Trinity. Do you look outside of art for ideas, like music or fashion? Um, so for the most part, most of my ideas um come from all over the place. Sometimes I'll have an idea that just comes straight from my head, but also from outside sources like art and yes, music and fashion. Yeah, a lot of my ideas come from all sorts of places. I just want to give a shout out to Trinity because she asked me a lot of questions and I appreciate her for that. So this one says, "What is a dream project you haven't yet done?" Um, to work with Kanye West. And people who know me know I love two things. I love Kanye West and I love Balenciaga. Obviously, those two things would be something of a dream to work on. Like with Kanye, like, whatever it is, like Kanye's so creative, we could literally do anything and I'd be happy and proud of it. Like, for real, like, if we did like something with music, if I interviewed him, if we just, bro, if I just hung out with the dude for like a day, I'd feel like I'd be proud of just that, you know what I mean? Balenciaga, kind of the same thing. Like they're just they just do a lot of stuff that I obviously find interesting. Like obviously the clothes would be the biggest thing. Like aaronmos, ex Balenci, or I design some stuff for them, or I, walk the runway for them, or I'm an ambassador. Like anything. Like if I'm just connected to the brand in some way, bigger than I am right now. From just being like a supporter and a consumer of it, it'd be something like of a dream. You know what I mean? What advice do you have for people starting magazines slash fashion slash social media? The advice I'd give for the magazine would just to be just to start it because I feel like that's the most important and also most difficult part is like for almost anything is like starting, like if you want to do this, like just do it. I've heard this from multiple people multiple times that they want to start something so bad and that's all they talk about this and then they just never start it and it makes me mad because it's like it's wasted potential. Like now you don't want to start it, of course you don't, because you never started it to begin with. If you started this shit and then started falling out of love with it, at least you tried it, at least you started it, you know what I mean? And then getting into fashion, I don't know, I can't really describe it, and I feel like in the future I'd be able to describe it better. I hate the term fashion. I hate that it's like a term, and I hate that it's like I don't know. I can't describe it, bro. Like I haven't. I know what I feel about it in my head, but I can't describe it. Like, of course I love fashion. Of course I love clothes. Look at all these clothes behind me. I wouldn't have this clothing rack if I didn't like clothes. I wouldn't have a closet full of clothes if I didn't like clothes. I love clothes. I love fashion, but I feel like it's more about the clothes. To me, at least, it's more about the clothes than it is about the fashion. Clothes and fashion are two different things. Like fashion is like everything under the sun about clothes. And clothes are just clothes, you know what I mean? But to me it's more about the clothes, like all these clothes I have on, all these clothes I have in the closet, all these clothes I have behind me. Like I care so much about them than I do about the idea of fashion. You get what I mean? Like these are my clothes. Like I love these clothes so much more than I love the idea of fashion. The advice I'd give for people would just be care more about the clothes, about your clothes than about fashion and stuff. Like love your clothes before you love fashion. And social media is probably the biggest thing our generation has. we really got it good. Like, I don't think we understand, like, how big the social media is and how far it could take us. Advice I'd give for people trying to get into like posting is just to post consistently, whether it be every month, every week, every day. Just post something. Like, consistency doesn't have to be every day. Consistency can be month, week, year. Even if you do it one project a year, just make whatever you're doing of importance. Like, if it's one project a year, make it a big ass project. Like, do something crazy every year, every 2 years. If it's every week, make something of importance to the scale of a week. Don't be like dropping crazy stuff every week. Like, you have to build up that kind of like importance to projects. You know what I mean? So like, you know, the more time you take off, give more time back. You get what I'm saying? Like, if it's every day, post something that's worth posting every day. You get what I mean? Like, don't be posting like no crazy groundbreaking thing every day, because at the end of the day, you can't do that. Like, you can really try, but I don't think you can just post something like that every day. And I feel like even if you did, it'd burn you out because, like, okay, all my good ideas are gone now because I just posted all of them. Try to post consistently, and then when you do, try to match the energy level to the time it takes to get those videos up. Like, make them important. You know what I mean? For how many days you're consistent on posting. All right, all right, all right, all right, all right. This next question is from Kevin. Shout out Kevin. He says, "How does the homies influence your creative work?" So let me give everybody let me tune everybody in to kind of like, because this question is really important to me. So Kevin's one of my friends, one of my homies, and he's asking like, how do all the homies influence my creative work? And I say all the homies because there is a lot of us. There's like damn near 15 of us in a friend group, and we've been locked in since like middle school. Some of us elementary school. Literally, like, we've been friends for a long ass time, and we've never split. Of course, people have gone, people have left. Um, but for the most part, everyone who stayed down has stayed down. You know what I mean? People in our friend group have other friends, but like, for the most part, we really just have each other. You know what I mean? Like, we are our main friends. You know what I mean? Back to the question on hand, though. Um, so kind of like I've already said, my friends are really important to me. Every new thing I want to do, I kind of tell my friends about it before anything. You know, coming soon with the whole clothing thing, I gave all my clothes out, the ones I made, to my friends first, and loved ones, just because, they're the real support. They're the real people who keep me going at the end of the day. Because, like, if some random, like, 24, 25-year-old is telling me, hey, your fucking shit sucks, bro. Retire, bro. Your shit fucking sucks. You're lame as fuck. I'ma just, I'm not gonna care about them, but like, if it's my friends and they're all telling me, yo, bro, like, maybe this ain't it. Maybe they're right about that shit. You know what I mean? Like, that's the kind of importance they have on me. Is like, I'm not gonna tell them. I'm not gonna let them tell me what to do, of course, but their opinions are much greater than other people's opinions of me. You know what I mean? Because I feel like, and I've said this before, and I'll probably say it again. I feel like your friends know you better than you, like, genuinely, like, because you know your friends see the good and the bad of you. You know what I mean? Like, I've thought about this before too. Like, I think I can point out my friends' flaws obviously better than they can, and they can point out my flaws better than I can too. Like, I think if I went up to my friends and I was genuinely like, "Yo, like, what are my flaws? Like, what am I doing wrong? You know what I mean? Not in a weird way, but just like how, like, what kind of person am I? Because I feel like they really know you better than you like do sometimes. Like, of course you know yourself and you're your own person, but like these people who have been around you, like I've said, since middle school, some elementary school, like they've seen every part of you. They've seen every era, they've seen every thought process, they've seen every mental place you've been. They know you and they know you well. And like I was saying about the flaws and everything, I don't think that's a bad thing at all. And I'm about to go off on a tangent again, but like, I feel like not just for friends, like for relationships and for family, like if you know someone's flaws, I feel like it's something that like is real. You know what I mean? Like let's say you meet a person for the very first time and you talk to them for like 30 minutes or like let's say you just talk to them for all night and they're actually a cool, genuine person. You're like, damn, this person's chill. You don't you know the person, but you don't really know them like that. Like you don't know their flaws and stuff. And like I feel like if you know someone's flaws and they don't scare you away, then that person is important to you. You know what I mean? Like, and you care about that person and you want that, and most importantly, you want that person in your life. You know what I mean? So that's why, like, I know my friends' flaws and stuff. I think it's a good thing. I think like, yo, I know your guys' flaws. I know what you guys are, what kind of people you guys are, but I don't leave, and I don't not fuck with y'all. Like I love y'all, and you know what I mean. And then this next question's from Zane. Shout out Zane. He says, favorite memory with your friends. Some of my favorite memories with my friends would be like when we're all hanging out. You know, I like hanging out with what some of my friends one on one, or if there's four of us, or if there's three of us. But like, if everyone's invited over and we're all hanging out and we're all doing our own thing, that's when like my favorite kind of like memories are. Bless me. Thank me. You're welcome. Low key, an underrated one. My friends would know this. Was when we're at Ethan's house. Like that was a good hangout. One of our most recent hangouts, we were at this lake. That was really fun. Those are my favorite type of memories. Are when everyone's together and we're all doing our own thing. Because you can literally do anything, and well, at least for me, I can literally do anything, and I won't feel like an outcast or anything. Like I could talk to this homie, that I've been close to for years, or I could talk to this homie who I don't see very often, or I don't even have to do anything. I can just be in the presence of him, and I wouldn't feel like an outcast at all. So those are definitely my favorite type of memories. This next one's from JJ. Shout out JJ. Um, he says, "Who gave you the most inspiration on how to dress?" And then he says, "What age did it start?" Like I said before, Kanye West is very important to me. He um he definitely influences my fashion and the way I dress. But he asked, "What age did it start?" In eighth grade, I always wore these like funny ass graphic shirts that were like dumb as hell, just because I wanted people to like look at them and like laugh at them. Like my friends know what I'm talking about. Like, um, I'd wear shirts with like cats on them, and I'd wear shirts with like chinchillas on them, just like stupid shirts, and they'd say like something stupid. And I still low key have shirts like that I do wear. What age did it start? I really couldn't put an age on it for you. Maybe sometime around eighth grade or freshman year. But I feel like the inspiration you know, people who influence me, the way I dress is always changing. And like, it's never one person at one time. It's always, different people. Probably myself, Kanye West, Playboy Cardi, just like hella rappers, low key, Ass Pizza, people like that. You know what I mean? What age did it start? Probably eighth grade, freshman year. So like how old was I? Like 13, 14? Yeah. So swag. All right. All right. All right. All right. Need to finish up these questions because I've been yapping. I know I have. But I'm having a good time. I hope y'all enjoying this video for real. I'm having a good time. I like answering these questions. You know, I answered these questions obviously for the camera. I wouldn't set up a camera to like ask these questions just for fun. Like obviously this is getting posted, but I feel like these questions are good too because it's like self-reflecting. And I think I'm definitely going to be doing these a lot more often. Obviously I'm gonna let it build up, but I do want to do these like question things like often because it's like it's not only I'm answering the questions for y'all, but I'm also self-reflecting. This next question's from Alan. Shout out Alan. Shout out Hugo. What inspired you to start Aaron Moss? I just like the idea of having like something physical. You know what I mean? I always wanted to put something in people's hands. You know what I mean? And magazines are good ways to do that because magazine could be anything you want it to be, especially for like something I'm doing. Like I can just put pictures in that bitch and I could call it a magazine, and to me that's what it would be. You know what I mean? But yeah, that's probably the main part. It would be something physical that I could put in people's hands, like that they can consume and be inspired by. You know what I mean? Speaking of magazines, I know probably people are wondering, well, if your name is Aaron Moss Magazine and you ain't got no magazines out yet, then you know why are you doing that stuff? But it's like magazines will be coming soon. I promise y'all. Maybe next year soon. Because my thought process behind it is because I started this shit back in October of last year pretty much. And I want to build up and create all this stuff and then put it into a magazine. Hopefully by the time of next year. I want it to be edited. I want it to be good. I want it to be physical and I want it to be in people's hands and I want to sell them. All right, next question, next question, next question. Let's keep it going. Let's keep it going. This next question is from Ezra. Shout out Ezra. Uh, what are other businesses you've planned to start? Obviously, like the magazine business, I'm obviously trying to go into that. Um, Photography, I'm a little bit into that. Um, Music, art, fashion, all into these kind of things. And I definitely want to start businesses elsewhere. I don't want to just be a magazine company. I want to be a creative director. I want to be a designer. I want to be a photographer. Literally, like, we only got one life. And, I don't want to spend it on something I'm not passionate about. And, I feel like a lot of people feel that way. But to me, it means a lot to me because I came to that conclusion myself without some outside um, thing telling me to, you know? Like when I worked my first job, it would be like it was a fast food job and I would just be in that bitch every day closing from like 2 to 12, 5 days a week, just literally, you know, doing nothing. It was easy as fuck, but it was just like it was too easy and I was like literally doing nothing. I felt useless. And like my coworkers, I would talk with my coworkers. They'd be like, "Oh yeah, I've been here for 15 years, 20 years, 25 years. You've been working at this fucking place for some people more time than I've been alive, and you expect me to want this shit? Like, you're tripping." Like, it's definitely some people there that have been working there longer than they've not been working there. And to me, that's crazy. Because if you're passionate about it, please do it. But for me, like, I only like to eat food. I don't want to be serving this shit. You know what I mean? I don't know. It's just crazy. I don't want to be working the same job for that long. I don't want to just, if I'm trying something over and over and over and it's not working, all right, fine. We're going to do something different in the realm of Aaron Moss because Aaron Moss, like, I am Aaron Moss, you know? It's not like I'm never not going to be that, you know? So magazines, I'm going to keep doing them, you know? Clothing brand, I want to do them. Designing, I want to do it. Creative designing, I want to do it. DJing, I want to do it. Anything, bro. Just just to be creative in this life, I want to do it. So, I have a lot of plans and I definitely want to get to all of them because I'm really ambitious and I really want to do everything in this life, you know. This next question is from Zach. Shout out Zach. He asked me what my main inspiration is. My main inspiration, I probably already said it in this video, but probably myself. Like, I inspire myself just because I want to be the best version of myself that I can. Because, like, I don't want to die being like, oh, dang, I could have been this or I could have been that. Like, the way I think about it is like, imagine if you're dying and then you get shown what, like, you could have been with all your ambition and all your talent. And you're like, damn, I should have done all that. You're never born and you're like, oh, yeah, you're going to be a good piano player. Or like, oh, you're going to be a good gardener. Or, oh, you're going to be a good rapper. You know what I mean? Like, it's never told to you. It's something that you yourself, me, find throughout the world living you. So myself, I definitely inspire myself a lot. Not in no cocky way either, just like, you know, just like everybody else, I want to be as great as I possibly can anywhere, you know. This next question is also from Trinity. Which piece have you made that feels the most like you? Um, I actually have it right here. This right here. We made this shit this year. So it's really me right here, like, for real, for real. You know, you know, collaborated with some cool people on this shit. You know, put some paint on this bitch. Put my logo on this bitch. The logo looks crisp too, bro. For real. But this one feels most like me because it is me, you know. Collaborated with some cool people in this. I like that piece because it's like my first ever Aaron Moss piece. Like, you know, of course, everything to me is art. Everything to me is art. But like that specifically, it literally is art, and also like something I really tried hard on, and something I had a vision for, and I got it to where I want it to be. And to me, it looks like a piece of a wall, like in New York or some shit, like a mural taken right out of the wall and just put on a canvas. I fuck with it heavy, but yeah, that one probably feels the most like me, low key. All right, we gonna wrap this video up right now. We almost done. We got like a couple more pages. I think one more, low key. Yep, I got one more question for y'all. Before we answer this last question, like I said in the beginning of the video, I just want to give a shout out to everybody who um made this video possible. You know, this last question is from Paradise. Shout out Paradise. Um, he says, "What do you want for the future of Aaron Moss?" Like, okay, I'll just say this. I'll just say this. Aaron Moss is gonna be bigger than anything anyone could ever imagine. Like, I promise y'all that. Like, you know, whoever's watching, maybe they'll be like, "Oh, maybe he'll be this, maybe he'll be that." It'll be bigger, you know. You know, my friends, maybe he'll be this, maybe he'll be. I'm gonna be bigger than that, you know. my loved ones, they'll be like, oh, maybe he'll go off and do. I'm gonna be bigger than that. You know, me myself, my potential, what I think my peak performance would be. It's gonna be it's gonna be bigger than that. Motherfucking it's gonna be motherfucking it's gonna be bigger than what I can even imagine. The future, I just want Aaron Moss to be worldwide. Like, we in my room right now, in my head, in front of a camera. I'm alone, in front of a camera, in my room, alone, in my hometown, by myself, just speaking into a camera right now. But one day, I promise y'all, I'm gonna have the microphone on stage with the whole world watching. Promise. I promise, I promise, I promise. And every day I'm gonna just be building my vision to get to that point. You know what I mean? But this has been this video. I hope y'all like this video. Comment what you want me to do more of down below. And yeah, I'll see y'all later. Thank y'all. Aaron Moss. Forever. Tight shit though. It's forever tight shit though. Like whatever. That tight shit or whatever.